Okay, so when you're doing a diagonal lashing, or any lashing as it is, it's important that it's not necessarily about the amount of rope you use, it's about how tight it is and how neat it is, really. So with that, I only try and do a maximum of 3 turns in any one direction. Now for a diagonal lashing, we've laid our 2 poles across here, and this is the area I want to lash, and I'm going to go in 3 different directions, 3 different planes, starting with a clove hitch on one of the poles. Alright, so we'll use this top pole here and we'll do a clove hitch like we've done before. Okay, so now I'm going to start to go round in my chosen direction. In this case, I'm going to go round this way, going across these 2, bringing them together, keeping it nice and tight as we go. So that's my first turn. Second. And third. Okay, notice that I've tried to keep it as neat as possible. Okay, next I'm going to go round the other direction. One, pulling in all the rope as you go. 2. I'm going to keep it as neat as possible and as tight as possible. And 3. Finally then, to draw it all together, squeeze it in nice and tight and lock it into position, we want to be going now in the 3rd direction, which is around this way, on top of this one and below this one for another 3. Keeping the tension going. And 3. There we go. Okay, so what I then need to do is make sure it's tied off and it doesn't start to slip and unravel. So in this way, you can see the strand is coming down there. I'm going to finish off with a finishing locking clove hitch there. I'm going to keep it tight as we go. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to look at a square lashing. A similar sort of setup to a diagonal lashing, but in this case what we're going to do is we're going to join 2 poles that are at right angles to each other. We need to still keep it nice and tight as we pull the strands around and join the 2 poles together. We also need to try and keep it as neat as possible to help us out and to control how we finish it. So first thing we're going to do, as we did before, is we're going to do a clove hitch. Slide that into position, and then we're going to move the rope under and over, under and over, under and over, again a maximum of 3 times. So that's under, that's over, that's under, and that's over. Now as I'm doing that, I want to be pulling that nice and tight. There we go, that's the first time round. the second. Finally, the third. Now once I've got that nice and tight, or as tight as I can make it at the moment, it's now our chance to draw it all in and really bite those two poles together. Okay, so now I'm going to go round above this pole here and underneath this pole here 3 times. That's 2. And finally the third time. Now again, as the strand finishes coming down here, this is the pole that I want to be doing my locking clove hitch on. Trying to keep it still nice and tight. If we let go now, it can still all come unravelling. And there it is.